Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. In our last video, we went ahead and created Leon's lips. And this one, we're going to make Leon's eye. So go ahead and zoom out, select your eye circle, and jump into your front view. Jump over onto the eye here, and we're going to start shaping this up. I don't need to have symmetry on because our eye is not really symmetrical. It's a little bit different. So we jump in, we can see that the position, actually we'll look at this guy, the corner of the eye here for the tear duct is a little bit lower than this back corner for this upper eyelid. So this tucks up and back and then connects here. This one kind of hangs a little bit down on this lower eyelid. Okay, so we're going to form this shape. I'm going to jump into vertex selection and grab this guy, hit W, and then I want to make sure that I'm in world selection. Hold down W, hold down left click, just make sure we're in world. Now I can just kind of pull this to the corner, forming that tear duct. And this one I'll pull out to the corner over here. And let's fill out the space for the eyelid. I think that's pretty good. Leon is a bit of an anime character though, so I just want to go a little bit more to fill out that space. So good, we have the eye like rough shape, and now I want to make the interior eye shape. I'm going to go right click, get my edge mode. I'll grab the middle edges, hold shift, hold right click, come down to connect components. That's going to give us a center cut here. Go to face selection, select the center, hit delete. So now we have this, and we can really start shaping the eyelid. So grab these, just tighten this up here. And I'm looking for the edge of the eyelid. I'm going to go to object mode. Now that we have work done on the front, let's jump over to our side. Let me dim this a little bit by going into X-ray. So shading, X-ray, W, make sure we're in object mode, and then we can move this forward. Now remember that our side view and our front view are not exactly lined up. You can see this is center on the eye here, but this one is below the eye here. So we're going to only use this for the depth. And again, Leon is drawn like an anime character, so I'm really going to be going off of a realistic reference, which is why I have these pulled up. So I've got this here, and I need to shape this around the eye. So let's make ourselves an eye shape. So I'm going to grab a sphere, jump into my perspective view, and press F to frame up on it. I go to my channel box, and I'm going to get my rotation tool, hold down the J key, and rotate this forward. We should see this snap to a 90-degree rotation in the X. Okay, let's go ahead and move this into position. I'm going to move that into here. Okay. Now our eye actually does not sit perfectly center. You can see on this one, the center point of the eyelid is over here, but the center point of the eyeball is here. Okay, but no two eyes are the same. So if I jump on this one, you can see here's the tear duct. That's the back of the eye. This one is a little bit more center. So I'm going to keep this one just slightly off center. But the eye itself, if I jump over into my side view, I'm going to move this out in front here. And the eyeball itself is going to be taking up a lot of space inside of our eye socket. So if we go into here, you can see here's the bone for the eyebrow. This forms the upper section of the ocular orbit down into the cheekbone. The eyeball is tucked back up under here, and there's a lot of muscle and other tissue connecting it. So we're going to go in here, and I'm going to scale this up. I think that's good. Check our other side. Yeah. Go to my perspective view, I'll hit F to frame. And let's get out of the X-ray. So go to shading, X-ray. Now another thing about the eye is it's not perfectly round. So if I go over to this diagram here, you can see all the examples of the eye show the eye drawn as a circle, which kind of bends out in ovals here to form the shape of the lens. We need to do that for our eye to get an accurate depiction. And you can see from the side view, the eye actually sticks out a little bit from the eyelid. You see that? So as we make our eye, we need to follow that. Right now our eye is perfectly flat, right? So let's go into face selection. I'm going to hold down tab and grab here. Okay. And I will pull that forward a little bit. Just check from the side. I'm going to go into vertex selection. I'm going to grab this middle vertex. And I'll use soft select. Press the B key. That's going to activate soft select. Soft select is kind of nice because it lets you have like a rubbery effect over your selection. You can adjust the radius of soft select by holding down the B key and then left click and dragging. So if I left click and drag, I have a radius. If your radius is really far out, you're not going to see it moving, so it might take you a few attempts to get it adjusted. You can always zoom out to see how big that radius is, because it might be way out here. I want to adjust my radius so that it occupies just outside of this ring. So here's our starting ring. I want to go outside this ring, and I want it to have influence over this ring. And you can see how that works. And now I'm going to pull this one forward. And you can see how that comes out. Now that's probably a bit too far, so I'll dial that back. Probably about to there. Grab this edge ring, this one, hold shift, double click to get that vertex. I'll pull these back just a little. I'm going to turn off soft select by hitting B and then kind of drag that back. Get this outer ring. Pull that back some. Just kind of round that. Okay, I think that's good enough. So now that I have my eyeball, I can start shaping the eyelid. So go to object mode, I'll select my eyelid, and then vertex. I'm going to grab the corner here, turn on soft select. I'm going to drag up the radius because I want to get quite a bit out there. I think about here is good. And then I can move this back around the eye. So this tucks back quite a bit of ways to the side of the head. You can see right here. That tucks back here. But this tucks farther back than our tear duct. Our tear duct is a little bit further forward. And again, check multiple references because no two eyes are alike. So I'm going to pull this back, kind of like around the eye. I'll grab this corner, pull that back around the eye. Okay. I want to grab these and those and that. I'm going to pull these back. There we go. And these guys. Oops, I missed one. Actually, I'll leave that one. Pull that back. You can see how we're shaping around the eye. I'm going to turn off soft select. Now I'll start moving these by hand just to help get this shape. Checking where my center is. I think I'll pull that forward. Quite a big gap here. That one, pull that forward. And I'm checking multiple angles to see what looks right. I want to keep pretty much a consistent curve all the way around, avoiding any weird pinches. I look for any big gaps here. That's kind of a gap, that one. Let me move the eye forward, go to object mode, move the eye a little bit more forward. I think that's good. Okay, so now that I have the rough eyelid shape, I'm going to go and get my edge selection, double click this inner ring, and we're going to create the interior edge of the eyelid. Hit extrude, hit W to get a straight edge, and then pull that straight back into the eye. And keep on going. We don't want to see any gaps here. Okay? So for example, we shouldn't see the back of the world. We want to go all the way back into the eye. Okay? Alright, so now as we have that, you can really look under here and see the rim of the eyelid. If we look at our examples here, that rim of the eyelid is very consistent all the way across the eye. You see that? So if I go into this eye, you can see the rim of this eyelid is narrower here, but wider here. So that gives me a good idea of what I need to do. So I have to pull these back. So I'll go vertex selection. I'll get these. I'll pull those back. Get these. Pull those back. I'll get this. Pull it back. And I want to try to create a very consistent edge around here. These ones are a little bit too far in, so I can pull those forward. And definitely check from multiple angles, just because it is a round surface. It looks pretty good. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and add in the edge of this eye. So edge mode, get this outer edge, and we'll bevel that. So hold shift, hold right click, bevel. It looks pretty good. But we need to create an edge ring here. So I'm going to go to segments, and I'll dial that to 2. And that's much better. So what we're trying to get, remember, is that flat edge that's in here. And that's going to be very important for when our eye starts blinking. We want to be able to control that. So like if I go into face selection here, grab that, face selection, and I grab this, I want to create enough material here so that I can blink this eye. And you can see there's not really a whole lot here. If I blink this, it's just going to shear off and get flat. Okay? So if I put this back, what I need to do is to create an edge ring inside of here. So what I'll do is go into edge selection. I'll grab this little edge here, hold shift, double click the one next to it to get this interior ring, and then we'll use connect components. So shift, right click, come down to connect components. And now we have this interior ring here. And I want to have one more ring on the inside of the eye. So I'll grab this one, hold shift, double click the next one. That creates this inner ring. You can kind of see all these are selected. And then I will hold shift, hold right click, and then connect components. Okay. Now the reason I did that is so that when we blink, we'll have more material. So I hit face selection, and I keep selecting my eye when I do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and just object mode, click out, grab my eyelid, go back to face, and now I'll grab this one and that one. And check this out, if I hit the B key to turn on soft select, and then hold B to drag down my radius, just to get enough to cover these edges here. If I were to move those up, see how it is like an accordion. It creates a nice transform for that eye, and you can see that flexing. So when it starts to blink, this is going to be much more natural than to have a solid flat edge. Okay, so I'm going to put that back. And now we can start working on the ocular orbit. So I'm going to go into edge selection, turn off soft select by hitting B. I'll double click this outer ring, and then I will hit the extrude button. Awesome. Let's go ahead and pull the green arrow and just pull that out. There we go. I'm going to go to my front view. And I'll hit Q, I'll go into vertex selection, and I want to fill out this space. So this needs to come up around to the eyebrow, because as we're working that eyebrow, you can see the edge of the ocular orbit. This is bone here. Okay, that's what holds that meat forward. So we need to start building that. This one I'm going to pull kind of in a little bit because that's going to go backward. This goes down around the cheekbone. This one tucks in around the nose. I'll move this one more over. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go into my perspective view just so I can see this more. I'll grab this one and move it back some. Yeah. Again, we're making that the shape of the bone that is there. Pull these a little bit forward for that cheek. Okay. Now let's go ahead and add in another edge ring. So let's go ahead and create another edge ring. I'm going to go up and get my multi-cut tool. And then I'm going to hold down Control. And I want to get this ring pretty close to the eye. Probably about there is good. And then I want to get a ring inside here. So I'm going to try to get in the middle. Hit that. So what I'm going to do with this edge ring is we're going to create that section where the eye tucks under the eye socket here. So with the move tool, I'll pull that back. And you can see that there. Now you can go further around and try to create like these creases. You can see you're going to have a little bit more of a flat area here. You are the artist, so you can take this back as far as you think you need. So maybe like this corner, take that back some. Now Leon is pretty young, so we probably won't have as much of a crease, but I think that's pretty good. Okay, we're going to create another edge ring, so get my multi-cut tool, throw in an edge ring right around here, and that's going to let us have enough material to continue shaping around the cheekbone and the side of the eye. A little bit of a bag under here. Now soft select, just kind of pull that. I think that's good. Now let's go ahead and save our work. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As. Let's make this Leon 7. And in the next one, we'll start connecting the eye to the lips. And we'll start building the nose and the other pieces. Okay, so stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed that video you just watched, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, there's Lame Duck Studios merch. Grab yourself a cool hat, sweater. You can always check out my Patreon, where you can get access to exclusive content just for my patrons, as well as videos ad-free ahead of time. Or pick up one of my books. The Life and Times of Dinah Marton is about a criminal psychologist who moonlights as a serial killer, and The Guardian's Path of Ascension is about 5 teens who realize they have the power of gods and have to save the universe. Both of those are available on Amazon. There are links down in the description. And The Guardians is going to be converted into a comic book. I'm working with my artist Patrick. We're pretty excited. We're shooting for an October release. You can see some of the work that's been done here. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.